Yeah. Trust. Shiny Charizard for life. I wanna be the very best.
Hello and welcome to PKG Talk with me, your host, Mr. V, VALOR for Victory, here to talk about all things Pokemon related. Please take a moment to comment, like and subscribe as we get into this. So we've hit that point again, the dip in the enjoyment of the game. The self-appointed saviors have added their 2 pence worth and we're waiting for some interesting content. It was very surprising that this week Mystic7 decided to change his stance on spoofing and say that it wasn't that bad. That was a surprise for everyone, I believe, watching that video. It definitely was for me. And we're still waiting for Generation 3. There are more EX passes being handed out, but not enough it seems. And really, I think everyone kind of got confused on the issue of spoofing. So we've got a little explanation now, a little definition, understanding of what it actually means to spoof, because it seems like not a lot of people are understanding who is a spoofer and who's not. And if you've seen some videos out there, you kind of start to understand that a lot of people are actually doing it. So here we go. We're going to ask Google, because you know everyone's using Google these days. Google has all the answers. So we're going to ask Google now. What is spoofing?
Spoof, imitate something while exaggerating its characteristic features for comic effect.
Okay, so that's what spoofing is. Now, the more accurate question would be, what is a third-party application? Because that is what is getting a lot of people blacklisted and a lot of people banned from playing the game properly. So let's find out. What is a third-party app?
According to PC Mag, for example, the iPhone comes with its own camera app, but there have been camera apps from third parties that offered advanced features such as a self-timer and simple editing.
That's interesting. So breaking that down a little bit, what it's actually saying is that if you have a device, well, let's not even try to use an example, let's use the real example. If you play PKG, Pokemon Go, and you're using the Pokemon Go map, that is within the game, so that wouldn't be classed as spoofing or use a third-party app. But if you used a map that wasn't in the game but could be used outside of the game to influence what is in the game, then that would actually seem to be using a third-party app and some kind of spoofing or cheating, as Niantic have said. So now you start to understand why a lot of people have said, and it's really true, a lot of people, and maybe nearly everybody who is still playing that game, is spoofing in some way, shape or form. So there are a lot more spoofers out there, and a lot of people who didn't think they actually did spoof and actually hated spoofers may realize that they are actually cheating and spoofing themselves. So I wonder how their views will change. Because I'm not gonna lie, it has been a struggle to play the game that is dying, to keep your interest in the game that is dying. Over the Halloween period, at the beginning of the Halloween period, we actually ran into some technical difficulties and we actually were unable to see any ghost Pokemon on one of our games because it seemed we had got the red scare and we were banned, and we weren't able to see any ghost Pokemon for, I believe it was about 2 to 3 days. But that was because we had Tutu app installed on a Samsung device, which is really no good, and because of that we got the red scare and were unable to see any ghost Pokemon. So that was quite annoying, and really you start to understand why people are going to such extents or doing what they want to do, or maybe not even playing the game anymore. So this week self-appointed Muppets, they came out and they said a few words on the players' behalf, on their own behalf as well, because it's getting harder for them to make videos, make interesting videos for you lot, if they haven't really got anything to say. So take what you want from that, but that was a little insight into what it actually means to spoof and cheat in the game. And you might find yourself, you are one of the people that are doing it. Even though you despise the ones who do it so much, you could be doing it yourself. So maybe take a little different view of this. And I believe that is why Mystic changed his views and became a lot more tolerant of spoofers in his last few videos, because he's realized he's used a lot of these maps, these other maps that you can use to see where things are and see how long they're going to be there, see their CP, all of this kind of stuff, see their level. If you can see all of that stuff, then you are actually cheating. You are using a third-party app, and you may be spoofing in some kind of way. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back soon with more interesting things to say. If it gets more interesting, hopefully. Still waiting for Gen 3, should be out soon, before end of this month, if they know what's good for them. Don't forget, comment, like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon.
Yeah. Trust. Shiny Charizard for life.